for the start of week 2. Week 1 was tremendous. I had a lot of fun teaching, had a lot of fun changing the days up a little bit to bring in a little bit of newness into the days so that not everything is seeming the same. And then as you're coming into class, I really do invite you to feel as though you're in the room with me and with everyone else, and just feel as though you're part of this breathing together community for the next hour and beyond. You know, the people who yoga together stay together forever and just kind of have this bond of community anyway. I feel quite strongly about my teachers and my students both. I spent a lot of time in meditation for both of those groups of people, what I learned from my teachers and how I can bring it to my students. And this series of classes is just such a great way to be able to kind of present all of the ways that yoga has helped me, all of the different ways, and all of the ways that you can come at your practice. I think most people, when they start off with a yoga practice, it starts off being quite physical. And we move and we feel better and our hips feel open and we stand a little taller. And then all of a sudden we notice that we're friendlier and we sleep better and we think clearer and or more clearly. I don't know, it's early. And we become more giving. We become more grateful. And I think that is the biggest benefit of yoga, is that it starts off as one thing and then we each make it our own. And it changes throughout the days, throughout the years. And but some things remain familiar, and those things we'll practice today. Breathing together, moving together, and just finding the space in our hearts and this calm, taking this time to cultivate the calm in this world that is ever changing. And cultivating calm, it never seems wrong to start a class off in child's pose. So let's meet there. And if knees want to bend today, please, or don't want to bend today, please feel free to lay down onto your belly. Knees together for a lumbar stretch. If you're quite comfortable folding forward, those knees together can help you to round into the back of the body, especially if you reach those arms behind you. But often this is uncomfortable. And if it is, you can bring those knees apart and stretch arms forward. And as you settle here into your child's pose, just cultivate length in the back of your body and start to notice your breath. Inhaling for a count of 6 and exhale out of the mouth for a count of 6. It's a slow exhale. Do that several times, inhaling 6 through the nose. Exhaling slowly for the count of 6 out of the mouth, and just listen to your breath. Really squeeze into the belly to make that exhale happen. Get rid of the stagnancies. A few more rounds here. Bring in that energy and let go of the stagnancy, listening to that exchange. And lift up just enough to bring hips above knees and knees in line, and we'll melt forward into puppy pose, extending the arms forward, melting the heart down and returning to that inhale and exhale, using the count of 6 and listening to that exhale out of open mouth, and really squeeze the belly here. These positions so beneficial in the morning to really rev up the gut, to get the digestion going, to get that metabolism moving. We're upside down, we're breathing mindfully, keep going. Next inhale, lift up, tabletop. Sway the weight here gently side to side, let elbows bend. Tuck toes under, get a little stretch in the Achilles heel, the bottoms of the feet. Have another open mouth exhale. Keep the toes tucked and let's move in and out of cat-cow. Inhale, find length in the spine, open the heart, feel that stretch through the sternum. Exhale, curl and round, tuck the tailbone toward the forehead, press the ground away, get rid of the air. Inhale, slow and steady breathing, coming up into this open heart position. Exhale, curl and round. Feel steadiness under hands and feel that stretch in your shoulders. 3 more. Listen to the breath. Come back, tabletop position. Come down to forearms. Flip those palms up, tops of the feet to the earth. And just stay here for a moment. Let the neck hang heavy. And come on up. Tabletop, and then kneeling position. A blanket can come under the knees. We're going to spend a little time on our knees. If you don't have a blanket today, you can just simply roll the mat up, give yourself a little bit more padding that way. Maybe I'll stay here today. It's feeling nice. Knees hip distance. Tops of the feet press in, and then roll here, open and closed into the shoulders a few times. Get rid of some of that congestion from sleeping and holding yourself still. Hands come to your hips. Roll the shoulders a few times with hands on hips. And another way. And then come back into that freestyle movement, dropping hands down and just roll open into your shoulders. Maybe the arms start to come out a little bit, come up a little bit. And then nice and tall, reach the arms up, Hook the thumbs together, tops of the feet press down, hips press forward, heart lifts up. Stretch through the fingers, make a butterfly hands here. Inhale. As you exhale, gently to the right, press over and look down. Feel that stretch. Take an inhale here, stretch into the left side ribs. Exhale, come through center, change the hook of your thumbs, spread out through the fingers, and stretch to the left, eyes down. Take that deep inhale, breathe into the sides of the ribs. And exhale, come back to center, arms come down. Shrug the shoulders up and down. 2 more times. And hands to your hips, nice and tall in the spine. Shift the weight to the right knee and left foot comes forward. Lunge as deeply as feels good. And then come back. We're not going quickly at all. But it's a little bit of a balance practice as we open into the hips. You're coming up into the kneeling position, switching sides, and mindfully lunging forward. Hands can stay on the hips or maybe come to your sides if that feels better. Eyes stay low. Keep yourself steady here. Just stretch into those hips, the front of the thighs. One more time each way. Back to kneeling. Hands reach back behind you. Shoulder blades come together. Palms press together. If it's okay, you'll interlace fingers. If it's okay, you'll bring the palms together. These are 2 very different moves for the shoulders. And lift tall here into the heart. Knuckles press down and out to the horizon of the floor, where the floor and the wall meet. You're pressing those knuckles back. Lift up through the face, lift up through the throat, the heart. And options here. We're going to come back into our lunge. If you feel open here, if you feel as though this is a comfortable place for your chest and shoulders to be, add a little bit of that challenge to the practice, that balance challenge, by keeping arms reaching back. If this is uncomfortable, hands come to your hips. It's just that simple. Noticing how you feel today and whether or not the chest wants to stay open and lifted, or whether it feels better to have hands on hips. Inhale as you lift up. Shift the weight to the right knee, left knee comes forward and lunge in as you exhale. Stay lifted in your heart, eyes down to the earth though, and move here slowly. If you wobble, just see what you can smooth out next time. Make sure that you're bringing the foot out far enough that the knee and the ankle stay relatively in line. Whew. And if you lose balance, just come back to it. One more time each way. I'll stop talking now. Press forward, come back, relax the arms, and child's pose. Feel activity in the heart and the small of the back. Notice your breath coming in and going out. And Uttanasana, downward facing dog, finding your way to stretch fingers a long body, and then lifted hips, finding this space in the back of the legs. Knees can bend both together or one at a time. Press firmly into the hands. Reach the shoulders away from the ground. Press the chest toward the thighs. There's so many cues for downward facing dog. And it's this continual adjustment and awareness as the body settles to the position and opens up its stagnancies. As those muscles start to lengthen, you find that space. Take another breath. Knees down, tabletop. Shoulder blades back and down, tops of the feet to the earth. Left leg presses back, point through the toes, and notice balance here. Half balancing table, eyes on the earth. Core is engaged, but breathing is slow, just finding this connection between the hands and the foot. And the right hand can reach away, finding balancing table, that right palm pressing down, left toes reaching out, core is steady. And come back, tabletop. Other side, nice and steady in the hands. If wrists are tired today, you can come down to forearms. Right leg presses back, toes point out. Notice steadiness here, breathing into the belly, shoulders engaged, not dumping into the chest. And left hand can reach out. If you feel too unbalanced here, feel free to keep that left hand on the earth. Relax the breath and the eyes. 2 more rounds. And come back, tabletop. Stretch out, plank pose. And lift those hips, downward facing dog. Don't forget to stretch up to those tip toes as you can. Feel that stretch. Inhale, rock forward, plank pose. Knees come down for supported plank and then slowly lower to the earth. Lift the heart. Now press it back. Find your kneeling position on your blanket. Hands come back behind you. A happy medium between hips and that reaching back with fingers interlaced is bringing hands to your sacrum as well. You can try that out for size, as my dad would say. Pressing those hips forward, lift up into the heart. And take a breath here. And take a moment and just connect to everyone else who's here in the room with us. This sense of community, especially Saturday morning. This class, so many familiar faces. You're just at the studio anyway, and so here we are practicing together. Take a breath, let your heart connect to all of ours. Hands to the sacrum or arms reaching back. Shift the weight to the right knee. Left foot comes forward. Lunge in. And then lift up into the heart. From this lunged in, lifted heart position, release the hands and bring them up overhead. If this is too much of a reach for you, hands to the thigh works just fine. Lift the eyes up. 5 breaths here, low lunge. Have this feeling that your whole body is breathing, that when you're inhaling, the whole body is opening and reaching. And as you're exhaling, everything is releasing and finding space, getting rid of that stagnancy. One more. Right hand comes down to the earth. Left arm presses to the left thigh. Twist yourself open. Hand can stay here or reach up, look up. Joy in the heart. If you feel as though you're dumping into that right shoulder, just reach the arm out a little bit more. Again, feel as though the whole body is breathing. The inhale, you reach slightly away from the ground. The exhale, you're just pressing in, feeling that stretch. Come back to center, both hands to the inside of the left foot. And then roll open and closed into the knee and hip, just letting the side of the foot come out. Hold yourself steady here. Press that left foot in. Untuck or tuck the toes and lift up into the right knee. Step back, downward dog. Fix your hands and feet. Knees lower. And slowly come on up to your kneeling position. Hands to the sacrum or reaching back, interlacing. Try for the alternate interlace. Lift up into the heart. Really find that stretched spine, that open lift. And take another breath. Weight shifts into the left knee. Right knee goes, or right foot goes forward. I turned myself around, you guys, and I forgot where I was. So I had to turn myself around again. Lift up into the heart, this first lunge position. Just find that open space. And then hands reach up. Keeping that lifted heart. Hands can also rest on the thighs. 5 slow breaths. That slow inhale, listening to the breath. Exhaling, remembering that you're awesome and you've got this. 3 more. Left hand comes down to the earth. Right hand starts out on the thigh to help you into your twist. If you feel weird in that left shoulder, you'll just step out a little bit, finding that place of connection. And then right arm reaches up. Open the heart with joy. Press energy out through both palms. Eyes lifted. Just feel this twist. Feel yourself getting younger and stronger. Inhale, open.
Both hands to the inside of the right foot. And concentrating here on holding yourself steady in those arms. Start to open in and out of the knee and hip. The foot rolling out and then coming in. Just noticing that stretch. Fun fact, if you have sciatic stuff that goes on, you might feel quite a bit of movement here as the hip opens and closes. Brings a lot of relief for that sciatic nerve, as long as you don't overdo it. Come back to center. Hands press in, left toes tuck, left knee lifts, and very fun. Have fun with it as you step back to dog pose, and then fix your hands and feet. Have a few open mouth exhales. Have an upside down smile on your face, not to mean a frown, just a smile, and you're upside down. And as you inhale, bend into your knees, look forward to your hands. Exhale, step up, find a fold. Half lift, heart lifts. Fold in. Press through the feet, rise with joy, reach the arms. Hands to your heart, thumbs to the sternum, Tadasana pose. Feel steadiness in your feet, in your breath, and in your heart. One more inhale. Slow exhale. And let's move the blanket out of our way. We'll move into some half salutes and then take a few sun salutations as well. Setting yourself up at the top of your mat. Toes come to touch. Lift up into your heart. Press forward into the hips. Eyes looking straight forward, or maybe they're even closed. And just quiet in so much that you can feel the weight shifting slightly as you settle into this pose. Tadasana pose or mountain pose. It always seems like such an easy pose to do because it's simply standing straight. But as you stand here straight, you realize it's not so simple. You have to keep engaged with those legs lifting up and through the kneecaps, the quads engaged, the hamstrings engaged, even the glutes squeezing slightly together as the hips are forward, space between the hips and the ribs. Arms at your sides, comfortably opening out through the collarbones. And listening to your breath. As you inhale, press down, reach up, look up. Palms can press together if it's comfortable. Exhale, fold in from the hips. Knees can bend, even a lot they can bend. Half lift, heart lifts. Fold in. Pause here. If you feel stuck, if you feel tight, heel toe the feet out so that they're hip distance. Come into a half lift again. Bend into your knees before you even start to fold forward. And then have this feeling that you're bringing the belly down to the thighs and then the crown of the head to the earth. And see if that helps you settle a little deeper into your forward fold. And let's stay here for a few breaths, just opening into the back of the body. The knees can stay bent, or you can start to work into a straighter leg, just very slowly moving into one leg then the other, just as we do in downward facing dog. 3 more breaths. Next inhale, find your half lift, legs firm. Exhale, fold in, see if that feels any better. Press through the feet, reach through the arms, stretch all the way up, palms press together, and pull your hands to your heart, thumbs touch the sternum. And let's go again, press through the feet, reach into the arms, palms press. Exhale, fold it forward from the hips, let your heart lead you and knees can stay bent. Heart lifts. Fold in, move slowly. Press through the feet, reach through the arms, hook the thumbs together, stretch through the fingers. Exhale to the right, pause here. Inhale deeply into the left side ribs. Exhale back to center, change the hook of the thumbs and reach over to the left. Inhale here to the right. Exhale back to center, release the thumbs, fold in, same exhale. Half lift. Fold. All the way up, press through the feet, reach, palms touch. Pull your hands to your heart. One more, inhale. Exhale, fold in, belly toward the thighs, crown of the head toward the earth. Heart lifts. Fold in. All the way up, rise, palms press, reach the fingers all the way up. Hands to your heart, Tadasana pose. Take a breath. Inhale, reach up, look up, palms press together. Exhale, fold in from the hips. Half lift, inhale. Knees bent, hands plant, step back to your plank pose. We'll take 5 breaths here. Move around in your plank pose, just like you do in dog pose. Have a little fun with it. Just explore how it feels to shift the weight. Sometimes a held plank pose feels like a lot of work. But when you can move here and start to engage the body and shift, you notice maybe it's not so bad. Palms press in, find some stillness. And then just from the toes, press forward press the shoulders forward to the fingertips and then pull back. Take one more. Press forward, the shoulders come over the fingertips, pull back. Knees come down. Press the shoulders toward the fingertips, lower down, elbows hug in. Tops of the feet to the earth. Lift up into your heart and 5 breaths here. Grip the mat with the fingers. Feel this downward pressure as you lift up. Shoulders relaxed, eyes to the earth so that you're not cranking into the neck. Inhale, lift. Child's pose, press back. Find your way to your tabletop position. Right hand steps a little center. Right ankle goes out and we're coming into supported side plank. Left arm reaches up, eyes up. Let's look down. Look down at your shoulder, at your wrist, at your elbow. Make sure everything's in line. And then wrist, knee, and ankle also in line. Take a breath here, opening through the heart, opening through the collarbones. Stretch the left arm up past the ear. Feel a little stretch. Lift the hip up. And come back, tabletop position. Other side. Left hand steps a little center. Left foot kickstands out. Right toes come out. Right arm reaches up. Everything in line here. Eyes lift up if that's comfortable. If it's not, just look straight forward or even down at the earth. Just finding comfort in the neck. Open through the heart. Everything engaged here. Pressing into the right toes. Pressing into the left hand. Reaching through the whole top side of your body. And then right arm reaches past the ear, lift up even more into the hip, feel that stretch through the ribs. And then roll back. Tabletop position, no rush. And child's pose, take the weight off the wrists, you can reach the arms back. Let's take a few breaths here. Feel the energy calm. Supported side plank with those arms lifted. It's very energizing. The whole body turns on. Let it soften for a moment. Feel that sense of calm. Another breath. And come on up, tabletop. We'll move through a side plank again. Right hand steps a little center, right ankle kickstand, left foot presses out. If you want full side plank, you'll just lift up into the right knee and press out. If you do this, make sure you're pressing up into the hip and that you're not sagging down. Everything lifting, left arm reaches. Right knee can be completely on the earth. Find joy in your side plank. 3 more slow breaths. Left arm reaches past the ear, press up through the hip. And return tabletop position. Other side, left hand steps a little center, kickstand out through the left leg, right toes reach, right arm reaches. You can bring a left leg up as you'd like. Somehow I'm off my mat here. Reaching up, right hip reaching, eyes lifting, find the balance, find the strength. And of course, find that joy. Feel your body work for you here. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Oh wait, let's do it. Inhale. Reach that right arm past the ear, stretch. Return, tabletop, and child's pose. Feel the whole body rest here. When we come up, we'll make our way into easy pose. Coming to sit in a cross-legged position. You can sit on your blanket if you'd like. And one of the things that Hatha Yoga teaches, which is a very traditional form of yoga and the one that I was officially trained in, but one of the things that it teaches us is that we need 6 movements of the spine to make a yoga class. And so right now we're going to go through a little seated practice. That's just a really good way to wake up into the whole body. Hands come to your knees, tailbone presses in, shoulders relax away from the ears. Left hand stays pressing to the knee, open up to the right in a twist, and that right arm's going to reach out from shoulder height, not to the earth. Inhale. Hold onto the left knee. Exhale. Twist forward. Right hand comes to the left knee, and the left arm reaches away. Breathe through the collarbones. Come back to center, hands to your knees. Nice and tall spine. Sit back to the sit bones. Change the cross of your legs. Come back to a lifted spine. Right hand stays on the right knee. Twist open. Left arm stretches. Breathe here. As you inhale, you're lengthening the spine. As you exhale, twist open. Left hand joins the right hand on the knee. Right arm reaches away, twisting. Just wringing yourself out from the base of the spine to the neck, looking as far over the shoulder as you can. And back to center. Hands to your shins. As you inhale, belly comes forward, heart lifts, cow pose. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lift forward, cow pose. Exhale, curl and round for cat. 3 more, listen to the breath, eyes closed. Last 2, where are you feeling this? Next, inhale, come back to a lifted spine. Reach back to those sit bones. We'll change the cross of the legs again, coming back to that original side. Heels flex out, lifting it nice and tall. Hands to the knees this time. And right hand is going to reach over to the left knee. I'm going to turn to the front now. We're coming to a lateral stretch instead of a twist by bringing hand to the knee. So right hand reaches across for the left knee. We're going to start to reach away with the left body, and the left arm goes up and over, holding on to that knee to help you with some leverage as you reach the left arm past the ear. And float here with the breath. The inhale lifts you up slightly. The exhale, those sit bones are pressing in so that you can reach away. Press into the sides of the feet, reach back up. And then left hand to the right knee. Right arm reaches up and away, and it's a lateral stretch, not a twist. Right knee pressing down as the left hand holds on, finding that space. Feel yourself moving with the breath. Come back to center. Relax the hands. And sit back to the sit bones last time. We'll change the cross of our legs. Bring your hands back behind you. Fingertips press to the earth. Lift up into the heart. Take a few breaths here. You can, if the fingertips on the earth it doesn't feel good, you can press the hands into the sacrum and lift up. Just going for another heart opening position for the body. Feeling this energetic lift. Back through center. Hands to your knees. Start to lead the heart forward. We're coming into a forward fold. Hands can reach to the earth. And then just fold in as far forward as you can. Make sure you feel steady in those ankles, that the feet are flexing out. Can reach forward or come to forearms, or maybe even bring forehead down toward the earth. And breathe deeply into the back of your body here. Really feel that space open up through the rib cage and into those shoulder blades. Start to lift halfway up. Hands press into the earth in front of you. Right hand will step a little center. Left arm reaches up for a twist. And come back to center. Left hand presses in. Right arm reaches up. And one more time each side. Let's inhale. Open up. Exhale. Hand back down, and then right side. Inhale. And exhale. Lift all the way up. Feet come out. And switch. I know I said last time, but you know, we have to work our spine a little bit more. Coming forward, halfway forward. Palms press in. And then walk the hands over to the right. And left fingers are really going to reach away from the left hip and open up space into your rib cage. Open up space in between the ribs themselves. And travel even a little deeper inward. This is for our spine, a lateral stretch with a little bit of a twist thrown in, just opening up space into the vertebrae, into the discs. Back through center, staying halfway lifted. And then walk the arms over to the left, the right arm reaching far away from the right hip. Really exaggerating your breath here, really becoming mindful with those inhales. When we open up space like this on purpose, we get to breathe easier in our real life. I was going to say IRL, in real life, but here we are in a virtual classroom all together. And yet, we're all just living right now, aren't we? Breathe. Move back to center. Lift up. And move into the spine a little bit, find that space. And let's go on down to our backs. Hugging knees to your chest, blanket to your side. If you'd like, you can put your socks back on. And then we'll meet in grounding pose, just hugging knees to the chest. And arms can even come out to the sides for today's grounding pose and just have a little twist here, have movement in the hips and the spine. Even bringing circles into the knees, going one way, then the other. Come back to center for a wide-legged Apanasana, just bringing the knees out as wide as you can. And if this feels good and enough, you'll stay here. If it's okay, you'll reach up for a happy baby, maybe holding on to the shins, maybe reaching up to the outside edges of the feet. Knees pressing down past the rib cage, tailbone pressing toward the earth. A few open mouth exhales here. Feet come down to the earth. Roll the knees open, bound angle pose. Arms can rest gently at your sides, or better yet, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Feel that rolling wave of your breath, the belly lifting, the lungs lifting, the heart lifting. Nurture this sense of calm in the back of the body, really allowing this sense of sinking inward. Knees resting open. You can rest them on blocks or pillows if they get too heavy. Stay with your breathing. Feel the lift and rise of the belly and the heart. Feel the lift and rise of your hands. And listen to the sound of your breath.
Before we stretch out to Shavasana, take a deep breath here and just feel your heart connect to all of ours. Exhale slowly, sending love out. And then as you're ready, bring the knees together and we'll stretch out for Shavasana. Can make any movements that you need to find that comfort in this position. You want to have lots of stillness here as much as possible, allowing the brain to think that the body has gone to sleep. So make sure you're warm enough and make sure you find a position that you can maintain comfortably without fidgeting around or without finding a reason to move. Allow the body to sink into this place of rest. Inhale slowly through the nose, fill through the belly. Exhale out of the mouth in a soft sigh. Feel the body sink further and deeper into the earth. Really allowing the whole exhale to leave your body and not taking an inhale until it just comes naturally. And then fill into the space, purposefully lifting the heart, opening the lungs, expanding. And exhale slowly out of the mouth, just sinking deeper into the earth here with each exhale. And do this a few times as you drift inward to Shavasana. Feeling the whole length of your body relax with those open mouth exhales. And then just drop into stillness. Coming back to your space, coming back to your heart. Start to add movement into the body, just waking back up, adding a stretch and a wiggle. Bend into your knees, stretch your arms up overhead. A breath into your lungs, into the sides of the ribs. And release the arms down, turn to your right side. And press on up into a comfortable seated position. Hands to your heart in a gesture of gratitude. And we'll end class with the sound of 3 ohms, raising our voices, raising vibrations, slow, deep inhale. Om. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourselves today. Namaste.